Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says the Jamaicans who will arrive in the island on Wednesday are Jamaicans who have been stuck overseas since restrictions were imposed on passenger flights. For weeks, they have been clamoring for the opportunity to return, but the government has explained that provisions had to be in place for appropriate quarantine or isolation. Senator Johnson-Smith explained that those returning are vulnerable and hardship cases, and that arrangements are in place for their testing and handling.
One will come from Fort Lauderdale and one will come from New York. Both are fully booked. 96 Jamaican nationals in each flight, all returning, having gone through our process with the overseas missions, that is our Consulate General in Miami, our Consulate General in New York, and our embassy in Washington, which have worked together with the Consular Department in Kingston to identify the vulnerable and hardship cases and those persons with particular challenges to return to Jamaica. And we look forward to welcoming them in accordance with the protocols that have been agreed.
Now, data from the Foreign Affairs Ministry indicate that the two flights with approximately 200 passengers are just a fraction of the more than 7,000 persons who applied to be returned under the Controlled Re-Entry Program. This overwhelming number of applications has also caused additional problems as persons are reapplying with the hope of increasing their chances for selection.
That because of the number of applications and because we are managing controlled re-entry based on the amount of quarantine and isolation capacity which we have in Jamaica, there will not be an immediate response to your application. You will get your case number. That means your application is submitted. You don't have to keep applying in order to hear from us. Once you have a case number, it is received. But the process, the time that will take you to get to to conditional approval and ultimately to approval, where you would have made travel arrangements, will take a bit more time. So we're asking again, yes, for your patience and understanding. If you keep applying, then you might actually prejudice your application because you're going to have multiple hits against your passport and it might raise questions.
Oisin Masters, Frontline News.